my problem at this point. All right, addition property of equality. There's two sides of an equation, and they remain equal when you add the same number to each side. So in other words, if you have an equation, you can change it as long as what you do to one side you do to the other. So if I add c to the left, I have to add c to the right side of the equal sign. Taylor, I'm done. You've had at least 3 warnings, and then you're going to have to go if I have to talk to you again. And it's not funny. Peyton, would you like to leave, or can you hang out? Please stay and do what you're supposed to do. That would be excellent. I don't think got this, but I think got everything. Hey, but you have the math, like, to read it. We're literally starting something new. All right. Two sides of an equation remain equal when you subtract the same number. So the only thing that's changing is what you're doing, the operation. So if I add c to both sides, it would stay equal. And if I subtract c from both sides, it would stay equal. Taylor, you're going to have to go. I don't know why you're not taking me seriously, but I need you to leave. Okay, I will. So here's the multiplication property of equality. Two sides of an equation remain equal if you multiply each side. So in other words, if you multiply the left by c, you have to multiply the right by c to keep it equal. All right, yeah.
If a is 1, is z 26?
Sure. All right, division is the same thing. The only thing that is changing with these 3 things are the operation. So here we added c to both sides to keep it equal. Here we subtracted c from both sides. Does it matter what c is? No, it doesn't. So that's going to help us solve our equations for what different things are equal to. In this case, if we divide the left by a number, we have to do what? The right. The same thing. Whatever we do to the left side to keep it equal, we have to do to the right side. So fractions are a little bit similar. We could multiply and divide the top and the bottom by the same things to keep it equal. Equations, we can add, subtract, multiply, and divide on both sides to keep it equal. Okay? Right, Mackenzie? Yeah. Focus, guys. Come on. All right. So 279. We're going to turn to 280. So an equation is a sentence. You guys know what equations are, stating that 2 quantities are equal. In other words, the left side is equal to the right side. So the value of a variable that makes an equation true is called the solution. So the equations x plus 2 equals 6 and x equals 4 are equivalent equations, because they have the same solution, x equals 4. All right, so if we subtracted 2 from this side, we have to also subtract 2 from this side. Do you see how we end up with x equals 4? All right, which is the same as this. So here, to get rid of that positive 8, we're going to do the opposite of it. So we undo adding 8 by subtracting 8. Whatever I do to the right, I have to do to the left. So negative 5 minus 8 is that negative 13 there. So that's our solution, which means we can put it into our equation. We can put negative 13 in for b. So negative 5 is still on the left. Our equal sign comes down. Negative 13 plus 8 is negative 5. McKenna, do you need to go, or can you turn around and do what you're supposed to be doing? You're being disruptive right now, so turn your body and focus. I'm not going to argue with you. Just focus. All right, how do I get rid of a positive 4? How did we get rid of this positive 8? We took the opposite of it, right? So what am I going to do with this one? the same thing. So if I subtracted 8 here, up here rather, I have to subtract what from this one? 4. No. -7 minus 4 is -11. Bring down your equal sign. You have x. 4 minus 4, this is 0, right? Anytime you take the opposite of something and add it to it, you end up with 0. And why don't you grab your book on your way back to your seat? All right, so example 2. Here, they're taking 4 away. So the opposite of subtraction is addition. So we're going to take the opposite of that from both sides. We end up with x equals 2. So then they're putting in 2 here. 2 minus 4 is -2. So the solution of the equation is x equals 2. Right here. This is where we're getting that. So we have to do what to both sides in this check?
Add 2. Subtract 2.
Yes. See here, we added 4 because we're trying to get rid of -4. Here we're trying to get rid of -8. So we're going to add 8. We're going to take the opposite of it from both sides. So that leaves us with q. -8 plus 8 is 0. So that's going away. I'm bringing down my equal sign. And then -9 plus 8 is -1. All right, so these were examples of undoing addition. These were examples of undoing subtraction. Here we have to undo multiplication. What is the opposite of multiplication? Division. So how are they showing division here? With a fraction bar. You need to know that that fraction bar means divided by. So they're dividing both sides by -8. What's -8 divided by -8? 1. So 1y is just y. Would you agree? That's why we're dividing by the coefficient. Remember, the coefficient is that number in front of the letter. You need to know that vocab too. So the coefficient here is -8. We have to divide both sides by -8. What's 24 divided by -8? -3. Be careful here. So then they're putting it back in here. -8 times -3 is 24, which does equal 24. So the solution is this, y equals -3. All right, try this check on the top of 282. What do I have to divide both sides by? Close. No, way far away. What is the number in front of A? It's not 6. It's -6. We want to know what positive 1A was. That's why you were really close to begin with. So you got to divide by -6.
I've obviously solved -6, but -6 sounded better. Wait, no, I wasn't about 6. I was just about 6. So we'll solve -6. Thank you for helping. That is the problem. I don't know what I mean.
All right, so how do I show division? With a fraction bar. We need to know that that means divided by. So I'm dividing the left by -6. Whatever I do to the left, I have to do to the
Right.
Right. Put your phone away. Says the person in the front of the room who isn't supposed to be seeing anyone on their phone, but okay. This is A. 1A. What is 36 divided by negative 6? What's 36 divided by 6? 6, but it's negative because our signs are different. Right? So is negative 6 times negative 6 equal to 36? Yes. So we undid, let me hop back here. We undid addition by subtracting. We undid subtraction by adding. We undid multiplication by dividing. Now we're going to undo division by multiplying.
Why did we do that?
Because we're trying to figure out what the unknown letter equals. Because there's going to be lots of things we need to figure out. Because sometimes I want to know if something's cheaper than other things. And it's not always going to be one-step equations. Real life is multi-step, more complex equations. But we have to start somewhere. That's why we're starting with one step. Because you'll need, on a farm, you'll need to know lots of things, like how much pesticide you need to buy, how much manure you need to buy. There's lots of math involved in the farm. All right, here we go, guys. To undo dividing by negative 4, we have to multiply by negative 4. Please be quiet. So I'm showing multiplication with parentheses. Eli, you can bring your phone up here. Because I've asked you multiple times to put it away. McKenna, I've heard myself say your name one too many times, so please stop. All right, so this is A. Negative 9 times negative 4 is what? What's 9 times 4? What's 1 less than 4? 3. How many more makes 9? 6. 36. 3 plus 6 is 9. It is what I asked you. What's 1 less than 4? 3. How many more makes 9? 6. That's how you do your 9. All right. So if we checked our solution, we would say 36 divided by negative 4 is equal to negative 9. So how do I get rid of dividing by negative 3? Faith, stop. What do I have to do to both sides? You're not amusing. Nope. Yes, we have to undo division by multiplying. So we're going to multiply both sides by negative 3. Whatever I do to the right, whatever I do to the left, I have to do to the right. This cancels out, right? Negative 3 divided by negative 3 is 1. So 1y is equal to what? What's negative 8 times negative 3? Positive. Our signs are the same, so it's positive. All right. We are not going to add fractions into this hot mix for right now. So we're going to hop all the way to page 287. I'm sure that would help you learn so much. We learn by doing. All right, so we're doing numbers 1 through 8. You didn't.
You did learn how to talk.
You babbled first. You made noises before you started talking. You practiced. You mimicked people. That's how babies learn, by actually doing it. That's how you learn math, by actually doing it.
Then how do you learn, like, wondering how you learn how to move your feet like this is a natural thing.
You start doing it.
You know, like, when you
So you were born and then you just walked right out? Yeah, okay.
like, move
Yeah.
your toes, like, you know.
You want an argument and you're not gonna get it from me. So 1 through 8. 1 through 8. We've got plenty of time to do 1
It's
through
when their
8.
joints and nerves get like strong enough to actually move, and then they realize they can move, and then they start moving, and then they start kicking their feet and grabbing their feet.